All right, guys, welcome to this week's showing of our 1RC races here at Lanes Raceway. Now, of course, we have our first up to do racing. Here is our day race, and our scheduled lineup is this: Bryson Bowen, Jordan Phelps, Hayden Phelps, Rayson Phelps, Stephen Locker, Braden Locker, Gordon Batchelder, Jeff McMahon, Brad Gregory, and Drew Bonesauce Hoagland. As you guys know, we'll be having a blood bowl here a little bit later on tonight, and there is a sponsor, actually two sponsors, Speedy's Garage for second and third, $50, so it'd be 30 going to second and 20 for third. And then our main sponsor, $50 for first place, is Jordan Phelps. He's put 50 up. And then we also have the cookie jars back, guys. You know you love the cookie jar. First place will get a chance at a $100 bill, but this week we've added a neon dollar bill in there. If they draw the neon dollar bill, the next bill that they draw will be doubled. So a lot of exciting things here for those racers, and we're super excited about it. But we're fixing to get underway here for the day race. Qualifying's up first. All right, racers, you got 10 minutes to qualify on tone. Once you hear this tone, please get up and start qualifying. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be right back with you. You're going to paint a body real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Grab that green microphone, turn it on. All right, ladies and gents, I am back, and it looks like we've just about got everybody qualified here. Right now, Bones in the lead with a 2.830. A little bit of new rules here coming at you for this day race to make it just a hair more serious, but not too much, but keep it exciting, to say the least. If the cars flip, they're out. If they stall, in other words, if they spin in the track, come to a complete stop, can't, have to have a track marshal help them, that is counted as a stall. If they do that 3 times, they're out. So hopefully they can survive. If not, that's how the cookie crumbles. It's just another little driving thing this week. We've also put little green lines and fluorescent colors for the night race here so that people can better see at night. We've had some people say it's been a little bit dark with the black lights. So now with the driver's line, that'll at least help them get around the corners. All right, guys, there we have it. Bones is going to be top qualifier tonight with 2.830. Now remember, guys, as we head into our heat races here, if you wreck and flip upside down, you are done. Grab your car. If you stall the car 3 times, that means spin out. That means hit the wall, or that you have to have a track marshal help you get back started. You spin out, turn. As long as you're not moving forward, that's counted as a stall. And on a stall, if you get 3 stalls, you're out also. All right, guys, looks like we're going to have 3 heats. First heat up is going to be Stephen Locker, number 1. Bryson Bowen, number 2. Hayden Phelps, number 3. Kenneth says, sounds good. Yes, sir. All right, I love it, Kenneth. Good sound, thank you. Yeah, I've turned her up pretty good this week to your specs, and believe it or not, we didn't have a Windows update, so it actually held, which is pretty good. I just got done painting a body for Gordon Batchelder. He's going to have a pink front with some green. It kind of looks like a Joker, melting pink. Of course, all these guys really like the hyper cars. All right, guys, if you're not racing, please help track marshal. And then, of course, we'll have our ladies track marshal, the Blood Bow. And everybody, make sure you're behind the blue line while racing. That gives room for a track marshal to get out in front of you to get your car. All right, racers, listen for the tone. Here we go. And off we go. Coming into our first lap here, we're going to see Bryson Bowen out to the lead. Stephen Locker there in second. And third place, we have Hayden. That's going to be a stall and a flip. All right, we have a flip. Brutal, brutal. So now we have Stephen Locker and Hayden Phelps. I know it seems a little bit crazy, but here is the thing, guys. These races are free here at Lanes Raceway. They don't get charged to race here at Lanes Raceway. So we're more free to be able to do a little bit of crazier stuff, like if you flip, you're out, because this ain't the only race. Plus, they're going to... All right, that's 2 stalls. All right, that'll be 2 stalls there. And it says, Kenneth here, respect, good weekend, all popcorn and foie gras on ice. I love it, man. Yeah, me and Drew Bonesauce Hogan, we're going to be heading to Chicago here in the next few hours after the Blood Bowl's over with, and getting up there for the Fiesta Flexi. Super excited about that. We've been getting our cars and stuff ready the past couple days, and I've got to make sure and get some braid. I need to tell T that. Hey, T, if you would, please set aside 10 sets of Copeland braid. I got to take it to Chicago. Three minutes and 20 seconds left in this heat. Bryson Bowen, he's feeling the way it feels to actually run a dirt car sometimes. Get out there first lap and have it happen to you. Sometimes going fast is not always the best recipe here, as we see Stephen Locker here and Hayden Phelps biding their time here, just rolling around the track. Bryson Bowen out. All right, that'll be 3 stalls. All right, Stephen Locker, you're going to bring it home. Man, we're moving through the heat races on this one. All right, just think of it like this, guys. These are free races, and we can run these all night long. So don't be too upset if you flip and wreck out. Next up, Heat 2, Drew Bonesauce Hoagland, racing Phelps, Jordan Phelps. So now we're going to jump into Heat 2. Of course, we're going to see Stephen Locker going to bring home that win, as he didn't have any stalls or any upside down flips in the previous race. As you guys can tell, we've cleaned the track. Me and Tyler Young spent about 4 hours cleaning the track and painting it. So whenever y'all see tonight, when we roll up here, you'll see a lot of fluorescent paint and stuff popping really good. All right, racers, listen for the tone. We got 5 minutes into this dirt late model beginner race, and out of the gate here, we're going to see Drew Hoagland there in a green car this week, as both house cars got sold last week. We no longer have house cars here right now until we get another shipment in, and my shipment got delayed today for some reason. But anyways, we got more 1RC stuff. We've been selling out the past 3 or 4 weeks here at Lanes Raceway. It's been a blessing, and the guys have really been enjoying it. It's good, cheap family fun. If you're looking for a place to join a good community of racers and just have fun and not worry about the seriousness of it all, like I said, we're going to run as many of these races as these guys can stand tonight until we have to leave at about 11 o'clock. So hopefully they'll have a pretty good time and want to run another one of these maybe before the night race. But we'll give them a little bit of practice time in between. We'll be running the live stream the whole time. I may not be commentating the whole time, as once we're in an intermission, I need to try to help T with the shop. But Drew Hoagland out in the lead right now. 4 minutes remaining. Drew Bonesauce Hoagland in the lead with a 3.180. Now that's the house car, the Bryson, Bowen, and Jackie. Jordan Phelps in second with a 3.550 best time, and Racing Phelps with a 3.620 best lap time. Drew is right now. You see Jeff McMahon there. He's bought him a couple cars this past week, and he's been really dialing in the 124 scale 1RC cars here at Lanes Raceway. He's got it to where it's going to be a force to be reckoned with in the Blood Bowl. Now, as you guys know, in our Blood Bowl, we don't hold anything back. We allow you guys to run whatever 1RC part that you can get your hands on, as long as it's 1RC. So if you want to run 124 scale and put late model tires on it, do it. And I mean 18th scale late model tires. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm just saying some of the stuff that some of the guys have been experimenting with. I think somebody's going to be running sprint car tires tonight. We're going to see different styles of bodies and things put on these cars, and also 124 scales out there running with the 118th scale stuff. So going to be pretty exciting to see what they come up with. And then here in the next few weeks, we're going to be having some more even seriouser races, I guess, if you want to call it that, where that qualifying is going to be a little bit different. You're going to have someone sitting there watching your trigger. It must stay wide open for you to be eligible to race. And as long as you got your trigger fully pulled, we're going to classify your time with somebody else's. So if you end up breaking out that time, then you're just never going to get a lap. But our times will be based on breakout periods, and that's how we're going to justify it, so that we don't have to tear down cars every week. So little invention I come up with, and I believe it's going to work pretty great, because, you know, when a guy's wide open, he can't sandbag unless he's pulling wide lines. And then if he gets in the race and cuts down his lines to be faster, well, then he runs the risk of breaking out. Minute and 52 seconds left. Drew Bonesauce Hoagland in the lead with 53 total laps. Fast lap time of 3.180. Jordan Phelps in second with 51. And Racing Phelps with 50. A very tight race here. Second best lap time is a 3.550. Jordan Phelps. Jordan Phelps is our sponsor for the Blood Bowl race here tonight. First place going to receive $50 and a chance at $200 in the cookie jar. Second place and third place also getting paid out by Speedy's Garage. That's $30 for second and $20 for third. So if this kind of stuff interests you, like I said, guys, we lean more towards the slapstick, funny style type of racing here at Lanes Raceway. If you win the Blood Bowl, it's by sheer luck, just letting you know. Anyways, guys, come on down here, enjoy some of the time with us, have some fun, listen to some music. We even let the guys select songs here. Our live streams never get paid out because we're always having copyrighted content on it. But you guys got to be able to hear these cars. You got to be able to hear the race. And you also got to be able to hear me. So, therefore, you're going to hear music. And it's going to be copyrighted. And there's nothing I can do about it other than just give them my money for running this race. Final 30 seconds remaining, and it's within 3 laps. Drew Bonesauce Hoagland, 74 laps. 71 laps for Jordan Phelps, and Racing Phelps, 70 laps. A very, very tight little second race here, and no stalls that I can have counted, and no flips. So a really good race here. We're going to finish the whole 5 minutes out for these guys. They've really done well, and they're going to be our leaders, most likely going to the A main, unless the next heat does a little bit better. All right, Drew Bonesauce Hoagland is going to bring home that heat race, and we finished one. Even though he won, it's going to count him as a DNF for some reason, but that's fine. Drew's used to it. Yeah, I don't know why I DNF'd you. John Elby says, what a great place to race. We really do have a good time. Lots of good, friendly people here. All right, guys, our final heat is up. Bones out in the lead. Braden Locker in second. Jeff McMahon third. And Gordon Batchelder fourth. So as we get some of these racers lined up. All right, we got Marshall's racers. Listen for the tone. Here we go. Everybody's rolling. Pretty good racing so far here. We got Bones out into an early lead. He's swinging wide. That could be dangerous for a flip. Down low, we got Gordon Batchelder. They both get involved. We're going to see a stall here. That's one stall and a flip. Oh, my. All right, there's our first flip, guys. Try to be gentle. Try to be gentle. Richie Austin says, go Bonesauce. I got to announce that one. So we just got this in. Richie Austin says, go Bonesauce. He loves it. He loves it. Richie Austin said, go Bonesauce. Drew is laughing hard, Richie. All right, that's a second stall for Bones. And I'm sure these racers will probably have something to make it a little more lenient in this race before we get into the main. I'll have a little bit of a driver's meeting with them to see if what we're doing is good. Oh, and what a takeout there. What a dirty move there. As we get our first stall there for Jeff McMahon. But he come right up on there and got Jeff McMahon's orange ride. Spun him out. All in good racing, I guess. But Bones, he's flirting with disaster right now with 2. There he goes. He made the high side move. That was probably a good choice there to keep from stalling, as Bones has 2 stalls right now. If he even recalls the rules, which I announce them, but sometimes people don't hear them. And we're just now running this, so it can be a little bit confusing sometimes. But he's running good here. He's making good progress. He makes a nice stab down. Oh! And that's going to be counted as a stall. Let's see if they pull him. Well, they're not going to. So we get 2 more stalls there. Yeah, looks like they don't want to keep up with the stall rule. So maybe we just go back to my initial rule, which is if you flip, you're out. I think that's good. Like I said, all for fun, all for making these racers try to work with each other and try not to wreck each other as often. But it's hard to enforce the stall rule, especially sometimes whenever you're getting hit by other people. But then again, I don't know. We'll let them decide. Only rule that I am going to enforce is the flip rule, as they made the stall rule and they don't want to enforce it. That's fine, but the flip rule will be enforced by me on this race. And as we can see, a lot closer racing here, a lot more decision making when it goes to whether or not to pass. As we see Jeff McMahon looking like he intentionally tried to take him out there, but narrowly missed that car in the lead, which is Gordon Batchelder. Not currently in the lead overall the race, but in the lead of Jeff McMahon. We see Jeff McMahon coming up on Gordon again. Let's see if he tries to take him out. And he comes down on him this time. Woo! Jeff is wanting blood before the blood bowl. One minute and 10 seconds remaining. Bones out in the lead with a fast lap time of 2.860. 64 total laps turned. Gordon Batchelder with 63. Jeff McMahon with 60. All right, we see a little bit of roughhousing there between Gordon Batchelder and Jeff McMahon. And we got a flip. We got a flip. All right, and that's it. Bones is going to bring it home with a 2.860 fast lap time and 82 laps turned. Jeff McMahon second, Gordon Batchelder third. All right, guys, before we do the main schedule here, going to have a quick drivers meeting with you and see where y'all's heads at with the new rules here. I'll just meet you over there by the track about where Jeff's at. Be right back, guys. Y'all probably still be able to hear me. I got my headset on my head right here, so. All right, anybody wants to be a part of the drivers meeting, meet me over here next to Jeff by the racetrack. If you don't, your vote won't be counted. All right, guys. So what we just raced there, the flipping. I like the idea of just pulling them. It's easy. Everybody knows when somebody's flipped, pull them. But I personally think the stalling is too hard to keep track of. Because if you bump somebody, what's the dictator, right? What's the dictator of it being a stall versus just letting somebody correct itself? When you have to reverse. Well, if you flip, the track marshals are going to pull your car. So, but we'll get through the heat races quicker if everybody flips. In other words, don't wreck each other. I think that's good for this style racing. Now, we're not going to continue this style racing in the Blood Bowl. I think the Blood Bowl is just going to be a flipping nasty mess. But if we run these, we can run more of these races if we ship people out for wrecking, because wrecking does slow some things down. So, what do y'all think about that? What's y'all's input? Well, see, then we're in the same situation we are with stalls, trying to keep up with it all. It just depends on the racer. So if every main stacks one to it. So we would have up to 2 over 4. I guess would be maybe 6, possibly 5 or 6 would be the max. 4 is normal. So.
If you had 6 out there, you're more apt to get flipped or.
So what do y'all think? 1 flip during the heats and 2 flips during the race, and then we have the track marshals be the ones that dictate it? Or do we just keep it 1 flip? Nobody cares? Do y'all like the flip rule, or do y'all hate it? All right, so hands up. Do we do the flip rule, or we just exit out? Flip rule, hands up. We got 1. All right, so no flip rule. We're just going to go back to racing the way we was. It was fun for one time. All right. All right, guys. So in the main, the flip rule's out. Nobody liked it. We'll try something different next week. All right, I am back. All right, guys, our C main is up 7-minute length. One guy's going to get bumped to the B. We got Racing Phelps, Bryson Bowen, Braden Locker. So, guys, the racers have spoke. We went over a bunch of different things we could do with the flip rule, the star rule, and everything. I gave them my input on it. Then we did a vote, and the guys don't even want the flip rule. So it was fun to try it and see if they liked it. They didn't. I guess because both times they flipped right in the first lap. So I guess I probably wouldn't like it either. And just like Jordan Phelps said, yeah, I'd probably like it if it wasn't me, but if it's somebody else, yeah, it's great. Anywho, no flip rule. We're back to regular racing here. We'll come up with something different next week. Waiting on one car right now. And here he comes, Racing Phelps. Pink ride. All right, do we have track marshals on each end? All right, guys, listen for the tone. 7 minutes. C main action. Racing out in the lead in the pink. Oh, it gets come down upon by Bryson Bowen's car. Bryson Bowen's car is going crazy. Gets into Racing Phelps' car. And Bryson Bowen's taking out another car there. Braden, sorry. Bryson's car really quick here. But very out of control in turn 1. It's diving very, very quick and aggressively. Oh, and he gets taken out by Racing Phelps there in the pink car. Racing Phelps and Braden Locker was battling out there for a second. Braden's going to take over a little bit. Racing Phelps, I believe they put a limiter on his car. And as you can see, it drives under control very well. I do like those limiters. And I think we might be using those in future races for more big races. Hand them out to the racers and have them all limit their cars, or at least one car in their collection, so that we have a lot more side-by-side racing, and we all know that they'll be getting the specific voltage, and that's it. So pretty excited about that coming in the future. Tyler is actually going to help us out with that, so that's going to be good. And it's just a different style of racing, different type of racing. When you get your cars really, really fast, we've learned this through slot car racing. When you get them really, really fast, and some people can drive, some people can't. Plus, it kind of makes you nauseated whenever you're going so fast around a track over and over and over and over again for as long as we do. If you slow them down a little bit, the racing gets more intense, the decision making gets more intense throughout the corners and things, and it's good racing. Less wrecks, the whole nine. People can learn how to control their cars a little bit better. As we see Racing Phelps there taking a shot in the back from one of the racers. Down low, Bryson taking a shot at Braden with 4 minutes and 50 seconds left. 4 minutes, 50 seconds left. Bryson Bowen in the lead with a 2.800 fast lap time and 39 total laps. Braden Locker in second with 39, and Racing Phelps 33. So both Braden and Bryson got pretty competitive cars here, as they're both pretty close. Now Racing Phelps there, his car spinning out there in turn one. Looks like he's getting seated back up there, as we had our turn marshal in turn one help him out there. Now we see Braden Locker back in the lead, and we're seeing some of the power. Oh, and Braden Locker spins out there in turn four to give back the lead to Bryson Bowen. Bryson Bowen's car seems like it's running out of juice a little bit, where Braden's is still keeping up a little bit with his power. And we're seeing Braden there dodge that wreck from Racing Phelps. Racing Phelps' car now moving forward as Braden takes the inside there in his red and yellow car. Coming up behind that red and yellow, it seems like Bryson's got a little bit more gas in the tank than I thought, as he is actually gaining about a half a car length to a car length every turn. Braden Locker gets pushed to the side there as Bryson takes the lead. Bryson now one lap up on Braden, but Braden running some really good smooth lines here. Braden just now suffering a little bit of trouble as he comes into turn four and flips upside down. We see Jordan Phelps getting flipped back over there as he goes to take the inside of Racing Phelps. Now, in turn three going into four now is your leader, Bryson Bowen, with 3 minutes remaining. Bryson Bowen, 69 laps. Braden Locker, 67. Racing Phelps, 54. Best lap time turn by Bryson Bowen of a 2.800. Hello, Tim. Tim McDonald in the building, fellow slot car racer here. Racing some flexi action with us a lot of the times. Back to the business at hand. 2 laps up is Bryson Bowen, now losing a little bit of time there to Braden, but then gaining it back as Braden swings wide coming out of turn two. Braden in the red and yellow wing car there. In front of him in the watermelon colored car is Bryson as he takes the inside of Bryson, and Bryson pulls his chain right there in turn three. Braden Locker back in it though. And we see Racing Phelps take the high side there to get out of the trouble of these two battling it out between each other with 2 minutes remaining. 2 minutes remaining, Bryson Bowen in the lead with 88, Braden Locker with 86, and Racing Phelps with 70. Racing Phelps and Bryson Bowen get into a little bit of a lockup there as Bryson ends up taking the underside of Racing. Now these cars are really starting to die down power-wise, but we're seeing Braden give it all he's got to keep that low line slung there to try to force himself into the next main. But it looks like he's going to just fall a little bit short. with 1 minute and 23 seconds left, unless he gets a little more aggressive, kind of how that Bryson's been racing this race, and he's going to have to start maybe pulling Bryson's chain once or twice. So he makes the inside pass there on Bryson. He's going to get one of those laps back, but he's still 2 down with 1 minute remaining. 2 laps down with 1 minute remaining. Braden Locker with 103. Bryson Bowen in the lead with 105. Racing Phelps, 83. We're seeing between a half lap here, 53 seconds remaining, and Bryson still in the lead by 2 laps. Braden's going to have to really hunt hard on that low side as he almost comes into contact there with Racing Phelps, and this might be the opportunity he gets as we get 2 stalled cars there on the front. Oh my, we might see a change here, and a change in that lead we are going to possibly see here now. Bryson Bowen 113, Braden Locker 113 as they're side by side. Braden Locker takes the lead with 26 seconds remaining. What a turn of events here, just like in the movies, guys. That's some Days of Thunder stuff going on here. As long as Braden Locker holds it, he will get pushed to the B main. 10 seconds remaining. 10 seconds remaining in the turn of events. Braden Locker takes over the lead from Bryson Bowen after that wreck on the front stretch. 2 seconds remaining. Congratulations, Braden Locker. You're getting bumped to the B. So Bryson Bowen, after that C main action there, Bryson Bowen holding it down the whole race long. And right there at the end gets involved with him and Racing Phelps to cause a stall there on the front or the back stretch of the racetrack, causing him to fall down 2 laps as Braden kept his car under control and pulled up, now getting bumped into the B main. All right, your B main drivers coming up next. Jordan Phelps, Hayden Phelps in second. 3rd position, Gordon Batchelder. 4th position, Braden Locker getting bumped from the C. So the Locker family, they are not shy. They are not, I'm searching for the proper word here. They are usually known, let me put it that way. They're usually known for riding up from the C main to the A, as we've seen Steven Locker do that twice in 2 weeks. I don't know why I put him in the C main. Maybe his car got pulled. Maybe he pulled the car. Don't know. To this day, I still don't know. I follow along the race as much as I can, but at the same time, I am running the shop too. So there's other things I'm doing while this race is taking place. But anyways, we're seeing Braden following his father's footsteps, getting bumped from the C to the B. We'll see if he can pull from this B main and get himself a slot in the A. But he's up with a lot more tougher competition here, as these cars are a little bit quicker and these racers are a little more fierce. All right, racers, as long as we got track marshals, listen for the tone. And here we go, out of the gate. Like I said, if they flip, we flip them back over. The race isn't over. Gordon Batchelder off to an early lead here. Gordon Batchelder just bought the house car last week, and we're seeing Braden go right up to the front here. He's got a little bit of juice in that trunk as he's coming from the C main now into the B, where he's fallen into his father's footsteps quite well here as we get a stalled car here on the back stretch getting pushed through. I believe that was Hayden Phelps' car there as he gets pushed through now. Side by side, Braden Locker taking the inside. Nice clean pass there on Gordon Batchelder. Behind Gordon Batchelder, Jordan Phelps running very close in tangent with these guys here. So we see Jordan there in the white colored car there. I believe that car is a late model modeled after Jonathan Davenport. So we see yet again Hayden Phelps with his car stalling out there in turn 4. Braden Locker also, this gives them an opportunity to get a little bit closer. 5 minutes and 45 seconds left. Braden Locker in the lead with 23 laps. Gordon Batchelder 21. Jordan Phelps 20. Hayden Phelps 19. Fastest lap turn is a 2.990 from Braden Locker. We see Tim's found him a Lanes Raceway chair here to sit and watch the race. Now there is blue tape set up in front of the back stretch and the front stretch for racers, and you can see our racers both line up on the front and the back stretch here to race. They must stay behind that lane so that our track marshals can do exactly what Bryson just did there and grab the cars and put them back on. Other than that, they can stand on the front or the back stretch here, even in the corners, but they must leave enough room for a track marshal to flip those cars back over. Back to the racing here with almost 5 minutes remaining. Braden Locker in the lead by 3 laps against Gordon Batchelder. Third position, Hayden Phelps with 29. As we can see here, Jordan Phelps there is running a asphalt open wheel. I think, I've grown to, I think they're actually called Willens modifieds, but I've grown to call them SK modifieds because I've been racing iRacing since it came out, and that was one of the first car classes in iRacing to come out. It was a SK modified. That's what they called them. So I still to this day call them SK modifieds. But nonetheless, they're predominantly ran up north. They're not ran so much here as we predominantly run like AMA dirt style open wheel modifieds here. But more of an up north type thing that those cars are ran. Even mid north, I guess you would say, even too, if that's even a thing. Braden Locker still in the lead. 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. Braden Locker in the lead, 56 laps. Gordon Batchelder with 52. Hayden Phelps with 44. And Jordan Phelps with 20. So it looks like possibly Jordan Phelps has pulled his car, or he's got some issues with it. But nonetheless, he is probably going to try to get that thing fixed for sure to get back into the Blood Bowl here later on this evening. Easy Slot Car says, "What's up, y'all? Happy Friday night." Easy's on here, says, "What's up, y'all? Happy Friday night." Thank you, Easy. We're having a pretty good one here as we get a crash here on the front stretch. Racer Gordon Batchelder is going to flip it back over, but get into contact there with Braden Locker's red and yellow, almost McDonald colored car there. And Braden's looking like he's going to be poised to pop from the B to the A here, following in his father's footsteps. It seems like every week we have a Locker going from the C main to the A as he makes a nice smooth pass on the inside of Gordon Batchelder. Gordon just doesn't have the power in his battery that we're seeing here that Braden has in his. Now, I will assure you guys, these guys are all running 1RC batteries, no LiPo. It's all about the charging process, something I learned for the first time from Cody Bickle from Rio Speedway, just north of us here at Lanes Raceway. And he come down and raced in his series and taught me quite a few things here about these RC cars. Easy says, "I love how you have an RC track to give a variety of stuff." They're pretty cool. They are pretty cool. The guys really do like them. And it's just a different style of racing. And these guys, like I said, they're different racers than our slot car racers. 2 minutes remaining. Braden Locker battling it out solely with Gordon Batchelder now. Braden Locker with 87 total laps, a fast time of 2.990. And Gordon Batchelder with 82. So Gordon going to definitely have to maybe look into some rear end swaps here for his car, possibly, is where we're seeing the time differential here, as we do not limit these guys from swapping the rear ends, as these rear ends are interchangeable, and we don't want to spend a lot of time breaking down rear ends here at Lanes Raceway. But with the piece cut out of the track, we've cut a 4-foot piece out of this track. We now call it the Blood Bowl. It doesn't help as much as it did before, but with a really good juiced up NiCad battery, it does come into play. But you have to have the juiced up battery. If it's just a standard charged battery and you haven't done any cycling with it, it doesn't really help you tremendously like it used to when you get that extra 4 foot of racetrack. Or sorry, 8 foot. I said 4 foot. We still have the 4 foot piece in there. Final 50 seconds remaining. Braden Locker in the lead with 108 laps. Gordon Batchelder with 100. Hayden Phelps and Jordan Phelps currently DNF. Easy E Slot Car says, I love how you have a RC track to give a variety of stuff. They're pretty cool. So I'm both announcing here on the live stream and simultaneously using a microphone to communicate to the guys out there. So if you do have fans and stuff like that you want to give a shout out to, or guys that you're following racing here at Lanes Raceway that you're rooting for, by all means, send them a text here through YouTube, Facebook, or Twitch, and we'll make sure that they know. All right, that's it for our B main, and we're going to see Braden Locker get bumped yet again from the C to the B now to the A. Braden Locker with 122 laps after that race. Tim Hall on here from Facebook says, hey guys. Hello, Tim. Tim racing here. He's been known to take a few victories home himself here at Lanes Raceway, especially in the early ages of this track before we figured out how to make it really handle good and do things. Tim was battling it out on the slick course when we were really doing some wild stuff. So it's pretty exciting to see Tim here in the chat with us. I don't know why I'm getting all these text messages from my wife, maybe so that we can post some of this stuff online of the different cars out here. We'll maybe make a collage of that later on. All right, guys, you know what time it is. A main action. We're going to have 5 racers on the track here. Bones, you're leading the way. Second position, Drew Bones Sauce Hoagland. Third position, Stephen Locker. Fourth position, Jeff McMahon. And following in his father's footsteps, Braden Locker coming from the C to the A. The Great White Hope, Braden Locker. Let's see if he can bring home a win. Tim Hall says, I'll be back before long. Guys, Tim Hall says he will be back before long. And Tim also said, go Bones. Guys getting their cars lined up here now. We're seeing Bryson Bowen, one of the fastest cars here this weekend, but wasn't able to get out of the C main. His car is probably the fastest here currently. All right, do we got enough track marshals here? I need one on turn 1 and 2. T, if you don't mind, please. T, you need a track marshal on turn 1 and 2 or in the backstretch. All right, racers, you're lined up. Very colorful. We got a black car out front. That's Bones. We got a green car in second. That's Drew Bones Sauce Hoagland. In third position, we got Stephen Locker in an orange car. Tough to be beat. In fourth position, Jeff McMahon with a, what I like to call straight from the forge, ironclad copper car. And in fifth position, Braden Locker in that McDonald's red and yellow. Guys, listen for the tone. 10 minutes, A main action. And we're underway here now. And out of the gate, Drew Bones Sauce Hoagland in his green car is going to spin out. And he's going to get it back out under the way as it looked like the back end of his car is having some issues there. But he's going to roll on through. Bones is going to take a early lead as he slides across the front stretch on his lid, actually. They're going to get him spun back around possibly. Oh, he's going to get hit in the rear. This is not good. All right, we got him slopped back around there. Let's see if he can make it up. Oh, and he's already into some more trouble there as he gets into contact with Stephen Locker in his orange car. Gets his car put back on. The sensitivity is a little high there for Bones, but Bones' car is ripping right now with the high voltage it's coming out of that ride. Bones takes a nice inside lane here, and a car comes off the track. Red flag, red flag. Stop your cars. All right, guys, in 3, 2, 1. Hee, here we go. Gale Force Raceway says, hee, or he says, hey, here we go. Sorry about that. I thought it said hee for a second, but how's it going, Gale Force Raceway? Oh, and we get Drew Bones Sauce Hoagland on his nose here as we got our track marshals trying to figure out what they're going to do about all these cars over here. These cars here, like I said, are the fastest that we have in this class. Are very freed up. I've seen some of the rear ends and some of the times these guys have put into it. And I'll tell you what, down comes Drew Hoagland to take out Stephen Locker. 8 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. Jeff McMahon in the lead with 25 laps, followed by Braden Locker with 24. Stephen Locker, 23. Bones, 24. And Drew Hoagland, 23. Very close race. Gale Force Raceway says, going well, sir. I tell you what, life is good when you're above the ground. That is for sure. I'm very thankful that you guys are doing well. We've had some pretty traumatic things happen in the slot car communities the past couple months, as you guys probably know. We've seen a couple slot car tracks have to close the doors, and then we've also seen some slot car tracks. If you guys know Fast Bailey's up there, guys, check them out on their Facebook page. Their whole facility flooded. Just been heartbreaking over that. As many of our guys had seen that, and it's just really been troubling in the slot car community. But nonetheless, guys, we will prevail. You guys know how it is in slot car racing. You have your ups and downs, and this just seems to be a downtime for slot car racing. But stick it out, guys. We'll hang in there for sure. Right now, Jeff McMahon, we don't usually see him in first position, but he's staying out of trouble, and he's doing an incredible job there running the high side in that gold car as you see him come around turn 4 here into turn 1 and 2. Now hitting the car, getting turned around backwards here, but he's now up on his lid. I speak well. It's one of my curses. I speak well about guys, and they end up going down hard. Gale Force Raceway says, oh, no, did not know that. Yeah, it was a pretty bad deal, man. They lost pretty much everything except the tracks. So definitely check out Fast Bailey's and see all that. Or Fast Track Bailey's, I think, is the proper Facebook that you would want to look up. We've seen some strenuous things happen with different slot car tracks too. 2 of them to name. One of them we went down and actually seen as it was one of my bucket list tracks, but it's now under new management. But Aaron, he just wants to kind of pull away a little bit from slot car racing. But the Viper Pit, you guys know and probably love the Viper Pit there out of Thomasville, Georgia. So I got to go and visit that track. They had a couple tracks there that were super impressive to me, and we ended up bringing one of them home. The rest of the tracks are going to stay there, and like I said, we ran under new management. But when I first heard that they were shutting down, it just blew my mind because that's one of the more higher quality tracks that we know of. Yes, I believe that's good there, Gale Force, with Fast Track Bailey's. 6 minutes remaining. Braden Locker in the lead with 67. Stephen Locker tied, and Jeff McMahon. All three battling it out. But, yeah, and then Alpine was a big, huge shocker, too. A couple brothers actually run and operate that. My brother and my dad have been there to run the Flexi Challenge series up there. Yeah, Bailey, PA, yeah. And, you know, they said it was a fine facility, ran similar to how we kind of run things here, you know, really clean facility. They had a real huge focus on 132nd cars and stuff like that too. Probably the biggest track, I believe, is what I was reading. The biggest 132nd track in the world. So, you know, they ended up having some issues there. And the last I had seen that they were closing down at the end of July. Now, I hope that ain't the case. But you know, I'm just giving you some inside information that I've seen just from going through the Facebooks. And of course, you know, slot car tracks, man, are a dying thing. Keeping any of them alive, we got to keep trying to keep slot car racing going for the next generation. But it can easily die without support. RC here at Lanes Raceway about died a couple months back. I had some guys trying to help me out with it. They went different directions with their stuff. And then we've had a resurgence here with our new guys here that's came in, and they've helped us out, and we've come up with the Blood Bowl. And, you know, things like that can change overnight, and then you get racers, you know. It's just a blessing, like I said, to be above ground. Easy E says, if you ever get to Florida and Daytona, the race place, Greg Walker owns the local slot car track down here. Across from the Daytona International Speedway. It is incredible that you said that, Easy E. Drew Bonesauce Hoagland currently running there with his hat flipped around backwards in the navy blue shirt. He just came back from that place 2 weeks ago, and he actually went in there and seen that place. So that's pretty cool that you mentioned that. Gale Force Raceway says, Bailey ain't far from me, not even 90 minutes. I mean, that's awesome. You guys live down there in Florida. That's a dream for me. I want to live in Florida myself. 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Jeff McMahon, 107 laps. Stephen Locker, 107, tied up. Braden Locker in third, 106, tied with Bones, and Drew Hoagland with 90. But, yeah, going down into Florida, some of the most beautiful area, I would have to say, is either like Clearwater with all the springs, and then I love Destin, Florida. I've been there a couple times with my family, and I'll tell you what, I love Destin, Florida. Probably the prettiest beach and water I could imagine. And then you guys have great slot cars down there in the Florida Rim. You know, Thomasville, Georgia, right there with you guys. And at the Viper Pit. And then you got the tracks, of course, from Florida, where they actually made the Viper Pit's Daytona track. So exciting stuff there in the slot car community, keeping that going. One of my other, if you guys wanted to know, one of my other bucket list tracks I'd like to make too before I die, but I'm going to have to get a passport. St. Martin. Want to go there so bad I can't stand it. They actually have a slot car track on the beach. And they open the doors and race slot cars there. It's really super cool. And then I want to go where the Purple Mile's at, guys. I think that's in Boston, if I'm not mistaken, the Purple Mile. I want to go and visit that before I die also. So hopefully a Nationals, USRA Nationals or something like that, will go to one of those tracks, and I'll actually have a big reason to go, hang out with multiple other racers and stuff from around the world and get involved with them. 2 minutes remaining. Stephen Locker now taking over the lead with 134 laps, followed by Jeff McMahon with 133. Braden Locker with 133. Bones with 130. And Drew Bonesaw Hoagland with 109. So it's been a battle back and forth between Stephen Locker and Jeff McMahon. And like I said, Jeff McMahon has really been coming far with his cars. We see him coming into turn 4 now in the gold-colored or copper-colored, almost clad car. It looks like it's fresh from a forgery. Not a forgery. Fresh from a forge. Fresh from a forgery. We're bouncing checks here. Speaking of that, we'll be visiting the check casher himself this weekend as we go to Chicago to race the Flexi Fiesta tomorrow. Me and Drew Hoagland, after the race tonight, are dead heading to Chicago to get involved in that race. And we're going to see Shane White, the check casher Shane White, also known as the Bulldog. And we'll see if he's able to cash those checks. I told him to bring some black ink. He's going to need it. 50 seconds remaining, and it's a close battle between Stephen Locker, Braden Locker, and Jeff McMahon, all within 4 laps of each other. Bones with 140 and Drew with 112. Fastest time turn this race from Bones with a 2.740. So after this race, guys, we're going to turn the track on for a little bit of practice action for the racers. Let them practice a little bit and get their batteries charged back up for the Blood Bowl. So we'll just leave the live stream rolling until the Blood Bowl. And when you see those lights come out, you know it's Blood Bowl time. And tonight in the Blood Bowl, $50 to first and $50 split for second and third by our sponsors. First place sponsor is going to be Jordan Phelps, sponsoring $50 to first place. And our second and third sponsor is going to be by Speedy's Garage. All right, congratulations, Stephen Locker, on your victory with 169 total laps. It was a close race this weekend with Braden Locker, 167 in second, and Jeff McMahon with 162 in third. Bones in fourth position with 140, and Drew Bonesaw Hoagland with 112. If you guys would, please get your pictures made with T over in the podium. Guys, I'm going to be turning the track on for practice. Please get your batteries charged and ready to go for the Blood Bowl. That'll be up next. All right, guys, with that, I'm going to go down and get some pictures with the guys and also let our first place driver take a shot at the cookie jar. All right, guys, I'm back after doing the pictures and stuff like that and the cookie jar drawing. We see Easy here says, well, safe travels, Donnie. Well, Easy, thank you. We're going to end the stream right now, and we're going to come back whenever it is Blood Bowl time, because all that you're going to see now is this guy's practicing, testing, and tuning until it gets dark. So we'll see you guys when it gets dark. This is Donnie.